Okay, some tips and tricks to this page and just basically some general overview of the things that are right and that are wrong so far. First off, we created this page in Fireworks, and as you can see when I cut up the page I didn't have everything lined up correctly, hence you can see um, some bits taken off the images here. Another thing is that there are ways of basically building your page that can save the user download time. So let's go back to maybe, I think Dreamweaver might be the best place for the next part. First off, our nav buttons are here, okay, and as you can see in the nav buttons, they're pretty much the same button over and over again. The only thing is the text has actually changed, okay, and this page weight at the moment is actually down here, which is 16k. There isn't really a hell of a lot on here, and there isn't really enough to justify this 16k. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a way of how to get this file right down in size. And here we go. First back, I'm going to reopen up the page that we created this on. So it's page 1. I'm going to go back to the original, and in my layers I'm going to turn off my web layer. I don't want to be viewing the web layer for a while. Okay. When I click on this box, what I can do down here in my properties is I can get the exact color that was used to fill this, which is this color here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the color like so, and I'm going to go copy, Alt and Tab over to Dreamweaver. And what I can do now is that I know that this is a box. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the image out of this. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is there's nothing in here whatsoever, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste in here. Actually, I'll just do it here. I'm going to paste in here the background color. So now when I press return, the color is back, the exact same, and now I can actually put text in here, and it's just using a piece of code instead of having to download an image. The exact same goes for down here. Now the only thing you might have to watch out for is you might have to change the GIF to spacer here, because at the moment if we just delete this we could actually lose the formatting size of the table, but I think we should be okay. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to highlight this, and on my keyboard press delete. And there we go, it's gone again. And in here I'm just going to, I can change the color of that, but in this case I'm just going to paste in the color reference, and there we go. So now we've managed to basically reduce the need for 2 images to be downloaded with it. Next is these images here, which is the nav button. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Fireworks, and this is what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to simply okay, I'm going to turn off all of these. I'm going to select nav like so. I'm going to press edit and copy. I'm going to go file and go new, so that's the width and height. I'm going to make this 100 by 100 and go OK, and now I'm going to go edit and paste. And that's basically the ball button in there, and I'm going to justify it to 0, 0, so it's not taking up any extra space. I'm just going to go preview, and yeah, I'm going to go file, I'm going to go export, and I'm going to save this into my originals, and I'm going to save this as just nav button. Okay, and click save. Okay, why did I do that? Well, this is a table here, and in here we've got 1 image, 2 image, 3 image, but the only thing that's actually different in the images is the text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this image, and what we have here now is we have an empty space. But what we can do is we can put in this table. This is why tables are very useful, is that you can layer as such in tables. We're going to put in a background image. So into my images, and I'm going to go to nav button and I'm going to click select, and there we go. You can see here, because I set it 0, 0, it's just a little bit tight looking. So this is where you have to use Fireworks and Dreamweaver together. And I'm going to go back to Fireworks. And what I'm going to do is, I'm just going, in my original, I'm just going to move it down slightly. Okay, so it's roughly there. Just going to move it down slightly. I'm just going to go File, Export it again. And I'll just bring this in so you can see it properly. And click Save. It's going to replace my existing file. I'll click OK. And now when I come back to Dreamweaver, you see that it's actually just moved just down fractionally enough. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to type in nav in a V1. I'm going to highlight that, and I used Arial the first time around, so I'm going to use Arial again. I can make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to make it bold. I'm going to make it black. I can highlight it again, and I can center justify it, and there we go. Same thing is done there. What I'm going to do now in here is in this one, I'm just going to delete this as I did with the above, and once again put in nav button and click select, and with this one I'm going to do the exact same thing, and for the background image, nav button and select. So now the three buttons are in place. I'm going to copy this text, so if I just go copy, and in here I can click paste, highlight it once again, center justify it, and this here becomes nav2, and here once again same thing, paste, and this here is nav3. I can highlight it and paste, and we've now went from 16K to 9K, which is quite important. We've taken half the size off the page. So if I click File and go Save, and now if I go back to my browser, and this is how it looked when we click refresh, this is how it is now. It's actually even neater looking. We've got the full circles properly, and we only have now one image as such being loaded into the page, and here we're using the same image to load into the page multiple times.